Hey, I want to get a little more personal with you, high achieving women entrepreneurs who are somewhere in the spectrum of your spiritual life. Let's get real today, you and me. Stay till the end to hear it all. Engage with me by using comments. Subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to get real, valuable content from me, Coach Shannon, so we can be confident in 2024 together. So, what is it really like for you to be a high achiever? I will post below a link to a prior video that talks about, are you a high achiever or is it a different diagnosis? High achiever, feedback, achievement, calculated risk, enthusiasm, raising the bar higher. Okay, what are the other sides of these characteristic traits? Let's talk about it now for a minute, because it's very important to recognize, yes, you're a high achiever. Yes, you excel and you do great things when these 5 characteristics in you and around you are being nourished, are being nurtured. But what's the other side of our strength? Let's be honest together. Feedback. Now, we thrive, we want this feedback from our superiors. We also have this internal desire and need, and we want to give feedback to others. But what's the other side of feedback? The other side of feedback is that we either give too much or we can't go on without it. We can easily sit back and question too much if we don't get any feedback or if we get the wrong feedback. Now, let's be honest, there is no wrong feedback, right? Feedback is feedback. Now, how we internalize it, how we interpret it is on us. It's not on the other person. Feedback is feedback, and we can work with any of it. But I'm going to be honest in saying, as a high achiever, it's hard when I get the wrong feedback or when I don't get any. I want to sit. I want to ponder too much. I want to think maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm really not criteria that they're looking for. Don't let yourself, as a high achiever, go too deep into analyzing feedback or misgiven feedback or not enough feedback. If you're not receiving feedback that you need or want, you need to check in with yourself. Are you giving yourself feedback? You need to check in with the Holy Spirit. Is He trying to give you feedback? You recognize Jesus is in heaven interceding on your behalf, asking the Holy Spirit, who hears everything going on in the throne room of heaven. He will tell you, He will help you understand what is being said in heaven about you. I mean, that's incredible. But let's also, more practical here on earth, maybe you're not asking for the feedback. This is a point where you cannot rely on just others. You have to do something about this. Let's go to the second thing, achievement. Okay, you are achieving things, yes. You are potentially seeing fruit in what you're achieving. You are doing one thing after another, and as we incorporate a third characteristic, as you are raising the bar higher, let's just say this is a good quality. But sometimes this can be misused. This can be overdone. You can receive too much at one time, and this can lead to burnout. I don't want this for you. I don't want you to be on a path of achieving and constantly raising the bar so that you get to a point of burnout, where you get to a point where you can't celebrate because nothing you do is satisfactory, because you always see the next thing that can be done. Let me encourage you, before you get to a place of burnout, that you are constantly bringing what you are doing and how you are doing it to the Holy Spirit, to God. Let His convicting love help you understand where you're doing too much, where it's not necessary, where you're striving in your own efforts. and how you can be relying upon Him more so that it's less likely that you reach burnout. Let's go on to calculated risk. Calculated risk. It's great that you calculate everything. But there is another side to this where you overcalculate and where it can keep you from doing the things that you know your spirit is asking you to do. There is a biblical truth that says God's ways are higher than our ways. We need to ask for eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart that understands. But we also need to have faith. This is the other side of calculated risk, having faith. And as a spiritual high achiever, this is where you can have even greater strength by, yes, calculating the risk, but also having faith that even in your own calculations, you cannot account for everything that will happen or could happen. Have faith that God's got you. Have faith that your eyes will see, your ears will hear, that your heart will understand. Have faith that God's ways are higher, even if you don't understand them completely. Let me give you a practical help on this. If you are too much into calculating risk, not enough on the faith side, the book of Proverbs is all about succeeding with wisdom and understanding rather than succeeding in your own foolishness. Check out the book of Proverbs. Read that over and over and over as you are wading in this pool of faith. Okay, the fifth thing, enthusiasm. This is a very, very positive thing for us high achievers. It is great that we can be enthusiastic in the things that we're doing. Now, the other side of this is that we are enthusiastic even when things are not going well, and maybe it's reached a point where we need to let go of it. Oh, that's a harsh truth. That is a harsh reality. Have you known the point where you have been enthusiastic when it really just needed to be let go? Has that been as part of your story? Have you held on to things for too long? Have you faked the enthusiasm? Have you pushed into it, knowing that really you should have given it up? And not because it would have been deemed a failure did you not give up, because your pride was too much in this and you weren't listening to God when He said, give it up. I've got something greater for you. Thank you for doing what you've done, but I need you to just let go of it now. I have this in my journey time after time after time. So, what do you feel like now that you know you're a high achiever and that there's an other side to all of these great qualities as being a high achiever? Do you feel like you need to press into this more with God and find more of a balance in your life? If this is a struggle for you, if this is something you're hard into and you can't figure it out yourself, come on, message me. Get in contact with me. My website's below. You can book a time with me, a free session. Let's figure out how for you can be more balanced in this and not one extreme.